Well, I will say that very encouraged by our second half, a lot like ourselves, and just kind of executing and doing the things that, we've coached and preached up to this season. In the first half, I think our nerves got the best of us just a little bit, and we were just kind of rushing and just not executing in the way that I'm used to or that was comfortable in order for us to get to things that we needed to in order to put some points on the board. But I'm not discouraged. I believe in this team, and although we're kind of short-manned a little bit, we have pieces that we can actually make things happen, and I'm proud of these two guys. I thought that they fought really hard. We got to find a way to get Fee some more looks. But I appreciate her toughness, the way she rebounded the ball, the way she defended. It's definitely helps in the foundation of where we're trying to go, like moving forward. It's the expectation that I have of her, and I challenged her, and she rose to the occasion. So I appreciate that. Nikki's going to be playing a lot of minutes, so we're definitely going to have to continue to work on her condition because I'm expecting a lot of her as well. But, we're figuring it out. A lot of changes, a lot of different looks, some things that we weren't used to as a group, but this is just a start. Like I told the kids, one down. It's only one game, whether we lost by 2 or 50, but I saw some things that we can build from.
Questions? We'll start with Jeff, then Hank.
Were turnovers an issue in your two scrimmages? Obviously, that was a big storyline in the first half.
A bit of a concern, but not as concerning as that first half. And that was something that we definitely talked about and emphasized during halftime. And we were better. And when we can give ourselves an opportunity to get looks at the basket, to take shots, it makes a difference in the game. We definitely have to be a lot more resilient, a lot tougher when we have the ball in our hands and not just kind of give it away. And I think that, especially in that first half, we had a lot of unforced turnovers, and it was because of our own decision making.
In the first half, how big of an issue were nerves? Because besides the turnovers, I know you guys have worked a ton on hitting shots close to the basket, and you missed a ton of those. How much were nerves a factor, maybe trying to win a game for her in her first game?
Nerves are always there, no matter what game it is. But I think after 2 minutes going into the game, the nerves are gone because you prepare for that situation. So I think it's just looking at the crowd and knowing everybody's watching you, that's probably what you're nervous about. But if you prepare well, you're not nervous about playing.
How do you explain the first half?
I think it was just lack of execution. We knew what we had to do. We practiced and practiced, but I think that our exhaustion and lapse of judgment basically caused those turnovers. They were unforced turnovers, so I think that was just on us.
Coach, once Dominique went down, curious what you've seen out of Aiyeotan in practice that convinced you to give her the start tonight.
Well, in our first 2 scrimmages, she played very well. She executed, but the reality is that we don't have Dean, and it makes a very big difference in our team. I mean, just the energy that she brings, and also her ability to put points on the board. Our team looks different because of that. I mean, even with Dean, we were a little short-manned, and now without her, it's even more so. But it is what it is. We have what we have, and I still think it's enough for us to be competitive. I guess what I saw in Kaija is probably a toughness that you need to have in that position, and although her skill set needs to grow, she's always fighting, and in a game like this, fight is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, you talked a little bit about what you said at halftime. How much of that can you share with us that sparked, and what did you like out of the defense in the second half, especially the third quarter, as you guys came out and looked pretty big and fresh?
I just told them to be themselves. Like, just be yourself. Like, all of the things that were happening in the first half, some of it was their pressure because it's what they do. They overplay. They want to put you in a position of discomfort, take you away from the basket and kind of rush you. But you're only rushed if you decide to rush, And I believe that that's what we were doing. So I just told them to calm, that we can get to the things that we want to do if we execute, if we hold on to the ball, if we do the things that are well within our skill set. And it was a conscious effort by them. They decided that, You know, we're not going to be bothered by the pressure. And we've talked about the things that we can do when that pressure happens, and that was the difference.
Tina, how important is it that after the first half, which probably, how important is it that you guys played so much better in the second half? Take that into your next practice and, just on a confidence and system and all that kind of thing.
Well, it's something that we can reference because that is who we are. And when we play like that, we're a different team. When we play like we did in the first half, no team in the country can give themselves a chance if we play like that. But so many of the things that happened in the first half were in our control. And we have to be able to control the things that we can. And in the second half, we did that. And that is literally the reference that we're going to use like moving forward, because we have to be ourselves. We can't leave points on the board, and we have to execute. We have to defend in a way that even though people make shots, the shots that they're taking is tough. And we did that in the second half.
Ron and Jeff.
Good. You also went with a bigger lineup tonight. Monet, Felicia, and Lisa on the floor at the same time in points. Was that just because of how big Mississippi is, or is that a lineup we can see some this season?
Well, we have a limited number of substitutions, and sometimes you have to play the people that are not fatigued. So it definitely was not by design, but Nikki can only play so many minutes. Jocelyn is limited in her minutes because she's coming off of injury. So we had to be strategic and at times or we just had to play what we had because she was at her limit. And if we wanted to play her in the fourth quarter, then we had to put someone else in. So we're gonna probably have some funky lineups here and there, because when we look down at the bench and you only have 3 substitutions and these guys are already at 30 minutes and 3 quarters, then we're just gonna have to look like that at times. But it had absolutely nothing to do with Mississippi State. It just has to do with who we are in this moment.
Jeff, question for Pete.
See, McCowan's one of the better bigs in the country. How did you feel that matchup went for you?
I felt like it was great. She's a great post player, and I felt like it was a good opportunity for me to get better, because I definitely would not come across a girl that big, that 6'7", every day playing basketball. So it was a great opportunity.
Felicia, how much will you guys draw from the second half going forward?
I just think that we have to do better when it comes to execution. We have to pay attention to the details, like we have been at practice. Coach always emphasized get open, try to get open, and it definitely showed up today. So I definitely think we need to get better and pay more attention to the details.
Caroline, then Jeff.
Coach, your first game as the head coach of Virginia, what was it like to come out and see the crowd and walk on the court the first time and have this experience under your belt?
Excited definitely about the crowd. I appreciate Charlottesville showing up for our kids. I mean, they're working really, really hard, and we are building something. We're under some renovations a little bit, but we are building. And them coming out to that crowd and them being encouraging and staying, even at a time when it was ugly, it makes them feel good, and it changes, how they approach when they know that our fans are standing, with us. And in moments where we got a score and we had a drought, like that encouragement led to something else good. So I hope they continue to come out and support them, because it is going to get greater later. It's going to take a little time, but we are going to get better. So great first game. We didn't show up the way we wanted to in the first half, but we ended in a way that we can build from, and I appreciate that. I appreciate them not giving in.
Okay, we have time for one more. Jeff.
With Amandine out, are you going to be able to play as fast as you'd like to ideally, or do you have to kind of tweak your system?
We're still going to try to play as fast as we can. I mean, we're going to have to get some points in movement. We're small, so it's going to be hard at times depending on how we play. Nick, you're small. Tough, but small. So we're going to have to get, points in transition. We're going to have to get some things on the move, and we're going to have to catch people off guard. So it definitely is our intention, but we're going to have to slow it down at times, especially when we're a little fatigued, and execute offensively. We tried to do that tonight, and first half a little shaky, but in the second half we were a lot better in regards to our execution.
Ron, did you have a quick one?
I did, yeah. I'm pretty sure you tied your career high with 19 points tonight. And you had 17 last year in the opener against Mississippi State. You kind of, raise your hand for the competition. More of the big numbers.
I do, but I think that's not a good thing. I think I should come out consistently against any team we're playing. But I have noticed that as well, that better competition I usually play better, but, I don't know what that is. But
That was last year. This is this year.
Yeah, this is this year.
This is the bar.
Ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.